Well, hello, everybody. How are you? I know we came on. Time is just off for me tonight, but that's okay because we are here. We are in the place. I'm going to give some people time enough to get on. I know it's a busy night because it's been busy for me all week, and it's going to get even more busy. And if you're coming on, just go ahead. Let me know that you're here. Drop your name and where you're from in the comments. Drop your name and where you're from in the comments. We want to hear from you. We want to know who's chiming in with me on tonight. Y'all, last night was phenomenal. For those of you that don't know who I am, and you're catching me for the very first time, my name is Deborah Franklin. I am a coach, I am an author, and I am a speaker. Now, tonight I am here in the capacity of Coach Deborah Franklin. So tonight I'm here. I want to talk to you guys. Let's start here. Let's do a recap from last night. So for the next 3 days, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, 3 days with Deborah. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about everything. Dealing with telling your story. And so last night we talked about my why and why I do what I do, why I know that I am called to work with church girl CEOs. In other words, I know what my calling is and what my why is, and that is to work with women in ministry to tell their story, to develop into multiple streams of income. And with that being said, a lot of times people will say, but they in the church, they do this. But you know what? You have to have a stream of income. You have to be able to know that you have something to do. And our scripture last night was Proverbs 18:16. A man's gift makes room for him and bring him before great men. Now, we also and God puts a gift or talent in every person that the world will make room for. It is this gift that will enable you to fulfill your vision. Now, last night we talked about being personal and making it personal and making it intentional. And that's why you have to put in there where it says, man, put your name. Say, Deborah's gift makes room for her and brings her before great people, great men and women, great people. God has put a gift, a talent in Deborah that the world will make room for it. In this gift that will enable Deborah to fulfill your vision, God's vision. But you're making it personal and intentional. So y'all, that's what we talked about last night. So if you're just chiming in on tonight and this is your first time with 3 days with Deborah, then you definitely need to go back and go on the page. You can go to the YouTube page. You go on Church Girl CEO YouTube page, subscribe. That way you'll know every time that we go live, as well as check out our replay from last night. It's already up there. So all you have to do is just go right on in and catch it. And I think it might still be up on Facebook as well. Because we are going to be doing these trainings because we want to have an open dialogue with people so they'll know what's going on and how to do certain things, because there are so many activities, so many opportunities that are going on in this cyberspace, in this good cyberspace that we're in this good shutdown that we're in. There's a lot going on and you need to start paying attention to it. And yes, some of it you are called to. Some of it you need to start shining through. And some of it you need to ask a lot of questions. So tonight I wanted to come on and I just wanted to talk about collaborations. There are a lot of, or some people are calling them anthologies, but I like to call them collaborations, because when you work with us, when you do a collaboration with us, with my team, we all work together. We all talk about what we're writing. We share about what we're writing. And some things that you need to look at when you're doing collaboration is that not only the investment or or the seed that you're sowing for that particular project, but what are you getting out of it? Are you going to be able to have meetings? Are you going to have a secret Facebook group? Are you going to be able to have access to an editor? Or are you going to have access to maybe even a writing coach? What are you going to have access to? What are you getting per se, per your investment? Will you even get named in the on the ISBN as an author. And so let me go ahead and deal with that too. A lot of people say, well, what's the ISBN? Well, that's how they track your book. That's how your book is found in the bookstores. That's how your book is found in the Library of Congress. That's how your book is found, because it gives it its own special code. And let's take it a step further. And if you don't have one, you can always purchase them yourself, or you can purchase them through the publisher that you're using. But don't let anybody tell you that you got to pay more than 40 or $50 for an ISBN, because sometimes people are going to mark it up. But don't let them, no. Don't get caught up into that, because we want you to make great decisions. And so let's go back to the whole collaboration piece. A lot of times people say, well, I don't want to collaborate. I want to write my own book. I don't need to be on no book with nobody else. Well, yeah, it helps you. Let's look at three things. Number one, it helps that you will be working with a team. Number two, you get more, you have access to more things, access to more outlets. So if you're working, okay, we're going to look at that. And then it helps with pricing. And you know what? We're going to put pricing with access. And then we're going to say, especially if you're a first time author, let's look at that. So sometimes since I've been doing this, I have been hearing a lot of stuff, and it's been cracking me up. I talked to one person. They were like, well, I just want to write the book and put it out there and be like Terry McMillan. I'm like, baby, you got to know how to market your book. You got to know how to sell your book. So let's just dive right on in this. First of all, when you're working in a collaboration, you're working as a team if you're doing it correctly. You get to know not correctly. This is just a way of doing it that I feel comfortable with doing it. Because when you're working as a team, you get to know the other collaborators. You get to know the other writers. You're going to have meetings. You're going to talk about in those meetings. And then let's start here. Y'all know I got some scripture for you. Sure do. So the scripture for tonight is Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. So when you are working in a collaboration, you have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of. You can ask them, does this chapter make sense? Did you understand it? As opposed to putting out all these projects just to put out projects, because there's a lot of people that are putting out projects just to put out projects, and they are not doing a whole lot with them. They're not developing conferences around them. They're not doing, and I said it, I did say that. They're not developing anything for it. A lot of people are just doing these collaborations to say that they're on the collaborations and who they are with. So you need to watch who you are on the team with and who's on your team. But one of the key things with Church Girl CEO and with when we do collaborations is that we work as a team. We meet weekly, at least for 6 weeks. You're meeting with us weekly. You're going to meet with the writing coach. You're going to get to even approve the design for your book cover. It's not like everything is cookie cutter. We're not telling you that you're going to start on this project and in 30 days it's going to be finished, because there's a lot more to it than just writing a book, and we talk about that or with our team. And because we have a team of women, let's jump right on. Next to is access. When you have access to different women who are in different groups, you get exposure to their team. You get exposure to who they know. You get exposure about what they're doing, because you never know who you're working on the team with. And I hate to keep, no, I don't hate. I'm telling the truth. I'm not hating nothing. One good thing about when my authors work together, they realize that the other authors actually have other sides, got their jobs. And one thing that I've seen is that they built their network, and your net worth is only as big and is as valuable as your net worth. So now when you work as a collaboration and you actually are meeting with these women or the men, whoever's in your collaboration, and you're meeting with them on a weekly basis, you're building you're building relationship, you're building a community, you're building a place where you can talk to people and they can give you advice on how to do something that you're doing, or even show you, or even give you something. Because I know, okay, y'all, let's just be real. Y'all know we just finished our project, one of the projects with You Got This audiobook. That was a collaboration that was just phenomenal. It just did a whole lot of stuff. But one thing I liked about the ladies that were on You Got This is that they really were iron sharpening iron. We had someone that needed assistance. The other ladies just jumped in. They couldn't find stuff. The other ladies just jumped in because they were on the project together. It wasn't like you were out there on this island just by yourself and not having any access to anybody. So that's one of the major things, is that you have access to a team of people that can assist you, whether it be technology, with its marketing. I had somebody on the team talk about, we gonna create a bot for the book. I said, I don't even do bots, but that was a cool thing, because so now I got something else that I have access to when we're talking about bots for selling the book. That's amazing. But I would have never did that if they were not a part of the team. And I think I just saw them talk about, they were going back and forth because we actually had people in there on the team who were actually virtual assistants. They didn't know that the other lady was looking for a virtual assistant. If they had never talked together, if they had never been on the same team and been working to develop this process, then they would have never had that conversation. So that's one thing that you have to look at, is that when you work in a collaboration, it helps you build your team. It expands your access and your reach to other people. So now you're on a collaboration. Let's take this another step further for access. The people on your team are going to share it with their team. And then you're going to share it with the people in your circle. Let me say it like that. Who's on your team? They're going to share it with their circle, and you're going to share it with their circle. So now you've expanded your exposure. Now people are seeing your picture connected with somebody else. And now you're on this project. And if now you can be like, okay, I got this book. And if they're looking for speakers, they're looking for somebody that does what you do, because guess what? Your bio is in the book. Make sure, that's another tip, guys, that when you do these collaborations, that your bio and your contact information is in the book. Check it. Make sure. Now, were there some mistakes? Have you worked on projects where there were mistakes? Of course, that's going to happen, but there's ways to correct those mistakes as well. And that's what you have to know that's what you have to be open to. And then when you do that, you got your team. Now you built your access. You're talking about pricing. When you work in a collaboration, if you look at what it would cost to do a book by yourself, yeah, you might be only paying, I don't even know. I'm not going to even say. Whatever your investment is, you have to think about, okay, if I'm doing this just me, how much would it be if I wrote, let's say, all 15 chapters of this book? I have to find the person to do the cover. I have to find somebody to do the marketing materials. I have to find somebody to set up the capture pages. Then you have to find let me leave it at the I. I have to find somebody to put me on the podcast. I have to find somebody to see if we can go as a group and do something else. Did you see how many I's I said? Think about that's 7 I's that you're gonna have to pay at least, at minimum, about, who knows, at least $400 or $500 a person. And that's all these different things. And that's just those little bitty investments. We're not even talking about putting a book together, getting the copies made, getting it shipped. But when you work as a collaboration, you're paying only one price. And in that price, you should get books out of it, especially if you're paying over $1,000, really over $500 or $600. You should be getting some copies of that book. And then you should also have a plan in place where you can pre-sale that book so you can make your investment back, or at least a portion of the investment. So that's what also helps when you work as a collaboration. You increase your value of that price. Not in value of that price, but that price it makes your life a little easier because it takes out some of that stress, especially if it includes editing. It includes a writing coach, a ghostwriter, someone who can help you understand what you're doing, because there are a lot of collaborations that I've read. No, I literally read some, and I've read some of the stories, and I was like, what? Oh, okay. That doesn't make sense. Or the transitions are off, or it's not written in the right tense. Yeah, think about that. So that's one of those things. And then working on a collaboration as a first time author, especially if you get a good collaboration team, is the best thing. Is I feel like that's a great step forward in helping you to develop your story and helping you to tell your story, because then it kind of jump starts you to take that next step to write your full book, and then you're going to be have the confidence, because also being in that group, it helps you build your confidence, like, oh my god, we got a book lunch, oh my god, we're gonna all be on this particular show promoting our book, we're gonna all get to do this, we're gonna you see how the excitement grows when you're working with a team and you have people to work with, as opposed to just doing it all by yourself, trying to be on that island. Again, iron sharpens iron. You have somebody to work with then, and that is what makes it beautiful to work in a collaboration. And I'm going to go ahead and share it with you. It is what it is. We do have a new collaboration coming up. Hey, Pixie, that see Pixie on here. She's one of our authors for You Got This audio book, and and she knows exactly what I'm telling you. Pixie, tell them, am I telling the truth? Tell them if I'm telling the truth, tell them. Working with Church Girl CEO and on a book collaboration is not like working with anybody else. And I've always been told, my bishop said, it's a pole dog that won't wag its own tail. Working with Church Girl CEO, when we do a book collaboration, it is so smooth. You get coaching, you have access to a writing coach, you get to work with the group, you get to work with women. I'm with you the whole way. So I share with we work with you the whole way. We meet, we talk about, what are you writing about? Why are you writing it? What is your why? We ask you those deep questions to get to that end result. And so even with the next project that's coming up, which is Survivor, I don't look like what I've gone through. We are looking for survivors. And I tell everybody that even with looking for survivors, I'm not looking for I want you to come write about your story, because God has set you free from, you've been delivered from drug addiction, drinking, homosexuality, whatever that is. It would be awesome to put that story, because so many times in Christendom, in our community, we don't tell that full story of deliverance. All we do is that we see the end results. We see you, quote unquote, standing in the pulpit. We see you standing at the door. We see you working in the parking lot ministry. We see you working in the in children's church, and in Sunday school, and in hospitality. But we don't know your story. And then, we're going to have to really be honest with people now, because they could care less about that fluff. They want to know, what is the real thing. Yeah, we understand prayer works. I'm a firm believer on it. If you watch the first one, I talked about how God sent me on a different direction where I really had to up my prayer life. And that's what working on a project with church, that's what makes working on a collaboration with Church Girl CEO totally different. And I am looking for women in ministry who want to share their story of survival. And Pixie said, you absolutely need a team. She is telling the truth. Yes, ma'am, Pixie. Thank you. Pixie says she is the truth. Oh my God. Now I didn't expect her to say that. All right, from the beginning to the end. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. You will laugh together, cry together, pray together, and win together. Now, let me tell you, honey, that is the whole truth, because it got to a point where when the ladies started to share their stories and what they had gone through, there were tears. But the thing is, it wasn't tears of sadness. It wasn't tears of, it was tears of, oh my God, I really am set free. And oh my God, I can really tell my story. We will pray together, because I believe that prayer is the substance of, is that base of what we have to build everything on. Am I expecting you to be churchy? No, not at all. I want the real people. Even Jesus didn't travel with super saints. Heck, he had Peter for a sidekick. Let's think about it. You have got to make the decision. Well, I would love for you to make that decision to be a part of this new project. And Pixie said, the real, true, and authentic you. Yes, 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 yes. Because when you work on these projects, we want the real, true, and authentic you. Now, I'm going to share one of the testimonies from from several ladies that were on the on the You Got This project. All of them, over half of them said that even after they recorded what they recorded to motivate and inspire other women, they literally, God made them have to go back and listen to it themselves, and they had to motivate themselves. That's power, because that means that they really did hear from God to speak through them, to speak to the people, because they had to go back and listen to it to themselves. So for lack of a better term, to minister back to themselves. I was like, wow, I was blown away. Yes, Pixie, Peter was a sidekick. Yes, indeed. He had some powers too. Yep. And so that's what we have to look at when we look at doing a collaboration. Yes, price has a lot to do with it, but you also have to do what God tells you to do, and you have to pray about it. But I also say too that doing a collaboration with us is like nothing else. And I'm not, am I bragging? No, I'm telling the truth, because I had people on the project that said they had other people calling them and they were telling them what we were doing, and they were like, we ain't get all that. I said, that's because you went with somebody, you didn't go with us over here at Church Girl CEO, because we are here to help you take it to that next level. We are here to help you catapult your vision to the next level. And Pixie said, yep, my words ended up being what I needed to hear. That's power. That's power. That's powerful. That's powerful. Nope, not bragging. Oh, thank you so much. Nope, not bragging at all. The ladies of You Got This are ready to sign up again. Oh my God. Yes, 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 and yes. So, so that means, wait a minute. That was what, 15 people. So that means we gonna run out of space already. If all the ladies from You Got This signed up for surrender, I need to jump over there and see what they talking about. That means they done had a meeting without me. And that again is part of being on a collaboration that really builds a community with the authors, because all the authors have bonded. All the authors they talk to each other. They're helping each other out, and they are doing it. And boom, I told you, you know what? You play too much. Okay, so let me tell you what she's talking about. All right, so when we got ready to do You Got This, let me sip some water on this one. I told them from the jump, I said, look, I wanted 10 people. And at the time that we had our meeting, I think we only had 7. Then somebody said that, they had a couple friends. I said, okay, cool. If they sign up by Monday, I think I said, if they sign up by Friday, that's it. I don't care, because I don't believe in quantity. I believe in quality. So I said, all right. And I just waited. I said, so 2 people signed up, and I forgot to close it. I forgot to close the application. The next thing I looked up, we had 15 people signed up, and I only wanted 10. 15 people signed up for this audiobook because I forgot to close it. But I promise you, I said, no, y'all, we doing this right. And that's different. That's a lot of editing that I have to do. That's a lot of editing I have to send to the people. But, God has a way of doing things just when you least expect it. God has a way of opening doors for you that you'll be like, what? And it's like, all you can do is say, thank you, Jesus. Because God is getting ready to do a new thing in you. And more spots. I told you I was going to God on your behalf. You know what? You play too much. You play too much. But y'all, I hadn't planned on being on here this long. I wanted to just come on and for day 2 of 3 days with Deborah, and with Coach Deborah, that is Hunter, just to talk to you guys about collaboration, and also to share with you about the collaboration that we have going on. And once we sign off, I'm going to go ahead and make the link available if you are interested in signing up or getting more information. No, at this point, you need to just sign up. to be a part of the collaboration, there is an investment, and I'm not going to even lie. There is a seed to be sown for working on surrender, and it's $12.95. And with that $12.95, again, you get the coaching. We will not be working on this project for 6 months. It will be more like six weeks. And I'm looking at, because it starts in the next couple. Actually, it starts in like 3 weeks. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So you need to get signed up. Is that 2.5 weeks? Today the 15th. My God. Yeah, that's like 2.5 weeks. This surrender starts. We will be finished in December, looking at a 2021 book launch. Yes, y'all, we're going to pop the year off with surrender. What a way. I'm sorry, survivor. What a way. Maybe I do need to do a book called Surrender. Let me write that down. Surrender. All right, let me check that out. Survivor, if the goal is to open the new year with that book launch for Survivor in January. That is an awesome way to start the new year. Not only is a new year that you have survived Corona, you have survived what God has brought you through, but you have survived to make it to the next level in your life. Y'all, that's hot and that's popping. You can't tell me nothing else, but Survivor is going to be a beast. The scheduled launch for Survivor is in January. I even looked at January 15th, and I was like, wait a minute, that's like a holiday weekend. That sounds real good. Let me see what you say. Yeah, it's the reason you keep saying surrender. You know what? I'm not playing with you, Pixie. Hey, Tiffany. Oh, Tiffany on? Yes. Hey, Tiff. Hey, Tiff. I can't see who's on because I'm using my platform. But y'all, this is what you have to realize when you're doing a collaboration. This is the kind of things this is the sisterhood, the friendhood, the relationships that you build when you're on a real collaboration. A lot of collaborations, I've done collaborations before, and all we did was submit it to chapter, paid the money, I'm not going to tell you some of the horror stories, but I would say, get ready. Join Church Girl CEO. And if you want to just join the community, we welcome you as well. You can go to Church Girl CEO. We are a secret group. And you know what? That's what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. How we're working together in Church Girl CEO and what we do over there in our group, because we welcome you to come over and hang out with us in our group, because we give tips, we do motivation, but we're going to talk more about that on tomorrow. But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a survivor and you are ready to jump on board, all I want you to do is, hey, you can DM me. You can drop me a message below. I'm going to put the link to join, to be a co-author in this project, because I'm Pixie talking about we adding spots. No, we ain't. When them spots full, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. But all right, y'all, have a great one. Love you to life. It's been fun. It's been real. Peace.